Okay, hopefully this microphone is still working. All right, girls, you missed youth group, but never fear, the notes version of the youth group is here. All right, so I'm not going to read you the text. You will need to do that on your own. So our first text is Mark 1, 35 through 38. The note from that was he got up before sunset, or before sunup. Sunset, that's not a big deal, is it? He got up before the sunrise, hiked to a quiet place, and prayed. Then we moved on to Matthew 4, 23 through 20. Matthew 4, 23 through 24. And our questions were, how do kingdoms normally gain power? And is Jesus surrounding himself with the most powerful and influential people? We had a really good discussion about that. We talked about how usually kingdoms seize power through conquest, but instead Jesus came humbly. And no, he did not surround himself with the most influential people. Rather, he sought out the people that the rest of the world ignored. Then we read Luke 5, 1 through 11. This is a turning point in the disciples' lives because they burned their bridges and followed Jesus. So we asked, what am I referring to when I'm talking about burning bridges? What is that an idiom of? And where do we get that particular saying? And I told the story of how Rome, they were the first ones to have what we consider modern bridges. And it was a tactic to kind of show that there was no going back. That was kind of the idea behind the burning the bridges. Luke 5, 12 through 14 was our next text. And our question was, why? Why did Jesus give this instruction? And we talked about Jesus had more to teach about the kingdom of God. He was trying to keep the leper from getting sidetracked before he fulfilled the law of Moses, and to keep the crowd size under control so that Jesus could move about freely. Okay, then Matthew 9, verse 2 through verse 6. We read that, and then we talked about what is blasphemy. One definition is slanderous speech directed toward men or God. We talked about how we often think of it directed to God. It was interesting that this particular definition also included men. And then we read Matthew 9, 9 through 9, 12. Jesus was concerned with the social outcasts of his day. And we asked, who are the social outcasts of our day, and how can we be kind to them? Then we read Matthew 9, 16 through 17. And we talked about if you put a patch on an old shirt, the new patch will shrink, and then the old shirt will just fall apart. And old wineskins can't handle the fermentation process. They will explode, and as the grape juice ferments. So if you do this, then you lose both your wineskin and your wine, right? So we talked about what is the new wine that Jesus is talking about. And of course, the answer is salvation, life with Christ, soul healing. Another way to put it, the old wineskin is religion, man trying to reach God, and the new wineskin is the relationship that we can have through Jesus, God reaching out to us. Okay, and then our wrap up was everywhere Jesus went, he healed people and talked about the kingdom of God. He didn't avoid people that others thought of as undesirable. He sought them out and healed them. Jesus broke society's rules by touching a leper. The leper was so excited by Jesus' healing that he promptly forgot Jesus' instructions, what Jesus asked him to do. He didn't listen. And then Jesus warned the Pharisees that their attitudes would result in them not being able to enjoy their relationship with him. And then our last two questions were, what did Jesus' preaching on the kingdom of God, why did Jesus' preaching on the kingdom of God cause confusion? And what did Jesus do to prove that he had the authority to forgive sins? And hint, that was all about the paralyzed man back in Matthew. So we missed you. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next week. Bye.